This is Dan and Andy. They're best friends and the founders of Hudson Daniel Gourmet. And they're on a journey to find the best makers of craft food and beverage products the world has to offer. This is Meet Your Maker. Season 1, California Road Trip.
Last week on Meet Your Maker, we had a little too much fun on the Santa Monica Pier, explored LA's cool vibe, and now we're meeting up with our next maker, Frankie Scanlon of Gustus Vitae, in the Pasadena Hills, where we cooked up some delicious dishes with Gustus Vitae's seasonings and signature spices. Tell us about your company. Tell us about how you got here and how you got started.
Yeah, Gustus Vitae is a spice and salt company, and I started it 4 years ago at the Venice Beach Farmers Market. I was working in advertising at the time, and it became a thing. And so now it's available all across the United States, and in Germany, I think, weirdly enough.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Wow.
So it's been really fun. We're very fortunate being in California with all the great produce and growers and manufacturers around us, and we were inspired then and we're inspired now.
So what's the name? Tell me about the name. Where did it come from?
It means taste of life in Latin, and so that we kind of thought of that as the mother tongue of all languages, and so I don't know, it fit with what we were trying to do to kind of encourage people to kind of see their food holistically and cook more for themselves and their friends and loved ones.
And it's Gustus Vitae. I've been saying
I
wrong,
it's,
I think,
it's
all
Latin,
along.
so no
it's
one,
not Gustus Vitae.
No one knows.
Okay.
I get called Gustus all the time on the phone. They're like, oh, hey, is this Gustus?
Gus.
I'm like, sure.
So we had an argument in the car ride down about what it was called.
It's way off.
Yeah, so I mean, it's up for debate, and that's kind of the fun of it, is that we make the spices and salts, and we really want you to take it and make it your own. So however you want to pronounce it is the way it is.
So I love hearing about people's journey. So how did you go from advertising to spices and salts? Like, how do you make that transition? And what did you wake up one day and say, okay, I'm done with advertising, this is what I'm gonna do? How did that work?
Well, I've always really loved eating, up there with the top 10 things. And
Me too, as you can tell, me too, yeah.
And I got out of doing all the cleaning and stuff in university by being the guy who cooked. So I kind of just learned, and my parents were big cooks, and so kind of everywhere I went, I've been fortunate enough to travel a lot. I was kind of always the guy that, rather than making the bed, would make dinner.
We'd love to try.
Yeah.
We'd love to try
For sure.
some of your product. That would be awesome. So how can we go back? Can you maybe cook something up for us today?
Yeah, so I put together a little menu, and we have a bunch of wine to go with it, rosé and a big cab.
We hit the jackpot, so let's do that. That'd be
For sure.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, well, I'd love to have you guys help in the kitchen. And
That'd be great. Yeah.
Let's get to it.
Awesome.
So you're kind of one in your hand. You kind of want to fill them out in your hand and then stack them.
Yeah, make a little stack in your hand and then tuck them in.
Oh, that makes sense. I don't know if you noticed, but Dan's kind of a control freak.
A little bit.
There you go.
See, I just
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
Dan, so much better
He's
than
probably
Andy.
done this before.
So is this an easy dish or is this like more complex?
This is pretty easy. It's one of those dishes that I thought it looks nice. Like it's a nice like date or like you're meeting the parents dish. You're like, look what I can create, and really
Sure.
you're just cutting up.
But when you look at it
Also
for a recipe visually, it looks like, oh, no, never mind. I'm not going to even try that.
But yeah, it's actually super straightforward.
And I think I'm a big cook. Like I think I'm a chef. Okay, let's just put it that way. Like I really do think when I'm cooking, I'm a chef because the way I toss the pan and just But I couldn't do that. I honestly would never. I don't think I could do this. Now I probably could.
Well, he scaled the fish in about, 5 minutes? Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
do that?
No,
No?
I don't think I could. So I'm impressed. I'm super impressed.
And then more is more like if there's a bit you can like fit in here, like
Or tuck in a different, like,
yeah, even
Yeah.
that way, yeah. Drizzle the whole thing with olive oil, which is
Perfect.
here.
Okay.
And you might want to put your thumb over it so you
Oh,
kind of
gotcha.
hold
Gotcha.
like
Okay. So over the vegetables as well.
the whole bit, and use a little bit more than you think you should.
I love these cans. These are awesome. So
What is that blend exactly?
It's herbs de Provence, so a lot of lavender, rosemary, thyme.
too much?
That's the exact right amount.
Okay.
Same amount of Bordeaux.
Perfect.
Maybe a little bit more.
You know what's awesome is you guys have actually made this really easy too, because I can just grab this and be like, okay, yeah, I can add this. I don't have to figure out the mixing. You've mixed it all just perfectly.
Thank you. Yeah, and then finally the California sea salt, which is just salt from the Pacific. It's desalinated in the San Francisco
So
Bay.
just me thinking I'm thinking that
There you go.
I'm a chef. See?
This meal is fit for a king. We were treated to a ratatouille with red snapper, fresh vegetables, and the Israeli couscous. And how could we forget the outstanding bananas flambé?
Guys, that was a lot of fun. Sincerely, I don't think, as I said in the kitchen, if I'm cooking and I think I'm this amazing professional chef when I'm in the kitchen, and you guys made that so effortless, and I think it was just a lot of fun. You put some really creative combinations together that I wouldn't have thought of, and I'm excited to try this. But I want to talk about your company. So the seasonings that we use today, how did you pair them? Like, what made you go, this is what this blend's gonna be, or this is what this blend's gonna be? Because I don't think most people realize that certain flavors don't go together. So how did you choose them, and what made you make that happen?
Yeah, well, what we kind of tried to do with the seasonings was capture kind of the essence of lots of different cuisines. So I love Thai food. We have a Thai seasoning. We kind of thought, like, what are the essential Thai flavors? So, there's a lot of heat, a lot of spice. That one's a salt-free one. The one for this one is a Taste of California. So we thought about, what are the flavors that define California? Strawberries, lemon peel, cilantro, of course, because of our Hispanic influence, and some thyme. So we've mixed that with truffle salt, and it gives us really nice kind of local take on bruschetta. So yeah, that's what we try and do with all of our different seasonings, is really kind of give homage to the different cuisines of the world.
Yeah, this is a treat for us. So do you guys eat like this all the time? Is this how
We
it's
do.
like?
I'm so spoiled. I will say I did not help that much in the kitchen just now. This one does most of the cooking.
And you don't have formal training or anything along those lines,
No.
do you? Okay, well, I was just
You would
watching. It was
never
very
know that.
masterful.
You would
so, yeah.
absolutely never know that.
Yeah, I
watching
mean,
it.
it's all driven. I'm very selfish. I like to eat.
Some of the seasoning, it seems like you weren't using a ton of, like when I'm cooking, at least I'm just like, I don't know how much to use and incorporate within.
And it comes across that way, by the way.
Yeah,
when
it's
you're
very
cooking.
salty, so I'm excited to try everything.
Well, we try to make it really approachable and just like a one-stop shop. So it's super easy for someone like me that doesn't cook that much. I can pick a few and it's bound to turn out right.
Sure.
I'm afraid to say this on camera, but my mother will be offended when she hears this. This is better than hers.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Let's hope Dan's mom isn't watching this episode.
Sorry, Mom. This is really good.
And this sounds bad, but it's like a garden in my mouth. But it's flavor packed. It's really
That could go a lot of directions, but this is fantastic. No, it really is. It is flavor. It's really, there's a punch to it. It's not, bruschetta is one of those things where it can be really bland. Like people can over oil it, or it just has no flavor or far too much, and this has a nice a nice mix. Let's dig in.
This is the ratatouille that you guys made with the snapper. And this is some Israeli-style kind of larger couscous with that Moroccan seasoning. So all kind of Middle Eastern, Southern France, Northern Africa.
It's prepared perfectly, it's seasoned perfectly. It's outstanding. So well done. I mean, I'm gonna take a little bit of credit since we put it in the dish.
You did, you did. Yeah, the arrangement is lovely.
On to that amazing dessert.
So walk us through what we're enjoying here and what exactly this is.
Yeah, so this is bananas flambé. So as you saw, you get bananas, some butter, some cognac if you're feeling fancy, or brandy, and light it on fire. We use that with our crystallized honey sea salt. So you get that salty flavor in there, and then a lot of caramelization is happening as the liquor burns off and the honey's being caramelized.
Definitely taste the brandy.
It's
coming
sea
through,
salt,
yeah.
and I love the lemon zest on top. It's a nice touch.
Yeah, we like to zest where we can, and so this is a dish that really responds well. The citrus kind of contrasts with the sweetness, and you kind of get the whole flavors of that.
It's delicious. Thank you. Frankie and Elizabeth, this was a wonderful day. It was so much fun. We had a blast, and what a great way to end it. Great sunset, great company, having a great drink. Tell me, what does the future look like for you guys? Like, what do you see? Where do you see yourselves? Where do you see the company? 5, 10 years from now. What's it look like?
I don't know. We've been really lucky that this whole process, from starting at the farmer's market to Whole Foods to larger grocery stores, has been really organic and natural. Ultimately, the spices and salts are a vehicle to sharing and communication and spending more time with each other. So,
well, I love how you're emphasizing you wanting people to cook more, and not we want to put this into restaurants where people can try it. I mean, you really want people to sort of get immersed in that home cooking experience, and today you did that.
You educated us, and I feel like the more people hear about it, it's not going to take you a couple hours to cook that amazing fish in the ratatouille. So
yeah, and then there's more time for us to get to know each other and talk.
Well, guys, thank you. I'm so grateful to have had today. It was such a great time. Thank you so much. Thanks for having us. Cheers.
Cheers.
Another great day, another maker discovered, and on to our final stop on this amazing journey.
Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Meet Your Maker. Stay tuned after the credits for a bonus scene, and don't forget to join us next week for our season finale. And in the meantime, seasonings, greetings. Get it? It's funny, right?
Show off.